ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। Sai Ram, we are all very privileged today to have Brother Rupak joining us at a very early time for him in the morning. Thank you so much for joining, Brother Rupak, and I'm going to let Brother Sonam take the honors of introducing his fellow alumni.
Om Sri Sai Ram. It's indeed a great privilege to introduce a legend. My first impression of seeing Rupak ji was during the Ram Katha rehearsal. And then what struck me was his the timbre of his voice, the beauty of his singing. And in the days to come, that as we lived together, and we had small to see him behind Bhagwan, that too not every day, because he was a very special class. He was Swami's child, and then he would come behind Swami only on special occasions. Swami would just ask him to come maybe. And then he would always carry his huge camera, and then he would be loaded with those equipments, and then he would be taking pictures. And then for me, even to go and meet him and touch him was like meeting Swami and touching Bhagwan. It was such a great, it's such a great memory today. And I can't believe that we are now sharing this beautiful platform, just eager to listen to him. What more can I say? There are just a few instances, like once we were during the Akhanda Bhajan, we had been singing throughout the night. So in the morning, our voices were all gone. And soon after Suprabhatam, then they switch on the microphones. And then when we started singing bhajan, Swami was looking at us from up there in Prashanti Nilayam, from the balcony maybe. And then from there he sent Rupak Changkakoti ji to go and help the students and to sing the bhajans. And then he came early in the morning and he sang Sai Katha Paar Karo Mere Jeevan Naya. Still remember. When he sang Sumar Manwa, his voice was so resonant. At the first time I heard him sing Sumar Manwa, I was just taken off my feet. It was such one singing. And that Rupak Changkakoti, he hasn't changed a bit for me when I look at him now. And sir, you have, Rupak, we are just eager to listen to you. I think we shouldn't waste time talking about, trying to introduce you, because no one can introduce a person like you. Jai Sai Ram.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Saurabh, for the wonderful adulations. I mean, I don't think I deserve all the adulations that you showered on me. I'm just a humble instrument of Swami, and Swami is all to us. So in that respect, even to date, I regard, all of us, I'm sure, do regard Swami as mother, father, friend, and our companion in life, and he is our guide. He's leads our lives literally with strings that he pulls from time to time, and we are totally kind of dedicated to his will. So I would start the session with a very beautiful bhajan that I love and many people love. Is Sai Pita or Mata Sai.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव श्री साई देवा साई पिता और माता साई साई पिता और माता साई दीन दयालु दाता साई दीन दयालु दाता साई साई पिता और माता साई साई गुरु साई सखा सहोदर साई गुरु साई सखा सहोदर साई सत्य शिव साई सुंदर साई सत्य शिव साई सुंदर वेद उपनिषद गीता साई दीन दयालु दाता साई दीन दयालु दाता साई साई पिता और माता साई.
That I guess sets the tone of our love for Swami, our kind of surrendered life to Swami. So, however, this human form has to go through a life's journey, and Swami has different ways of bringing different people closer to him. So our journey, mine and Hirok's journey, started way back in late 60s when we were in actually Shillong, the state of Meghalaya, which is now the state of Meghalaya. In those days, it was still Assam. And father was in government service in All India Radio. So we were located in Shillong, and one of my mother's cousin sister had had organized Sai Bhajan, but we really did not know it was a Sai Bhajan. So we kind of lined it up late and just had prasadam. We didn't realize that it was a Sai Bhajan, and Sai Bhajans are very strict with timings and all that. So we thought it was one of those kind of kirtans, which happens very often in Assam. It's called Borgits. So we landed up almost towards the end of the bhajan. The bhajan was over. So when we landed up there, we met this gentleman called Panikar, who said that it's don't worry about it. We have another one coming up very soon. You come to that bhajan. So he gave us the timing, the location where the bhajan is going to be held, and it happened to be those days. Many a times the bhajans were held in the morning rather than in the evening in that area, because that area is quite hilly and it's cold. So it becomes dark pretty early. So generally the bhajans are held in the morning times, many a times. So we landed up in this place, which was not very far from our home. And lo and behold, after the bhajan got over, Mr. Panikar came and handed us a picture of Swami. And it was a small picture, about like something like a 6 by 10 size picture, small picture. And he said, frame it and put it in your altar. And we landed up at the right time in the bhajan somehow. And then after we came out, we came off, and we framed the picture and put it in our altar. And we used to be living in and the following week, or after we got the picture, we had a bhajan at home. It was not bhajan per se, because we did not know Sai bhajans at that point. So we were singing other Hindi film bhajans, or some Borgeets, or some what they call in Assam like name of God, but mostly in Assamese. When we are doing this, we heard footsteps. Most of the houses there in Shillong are built on wooden floors, and these are hardwood floors which have no backing. So they are they creak when someone walks on it. So we heard footsteps on these um, wooden flooring come from one end of the room. There was a door there, and from that door to the door where we were sitting close by doing the bhajan. This is like there was an altar in one of the bedrooms, and the door leading to that bedroom, we were sitting there, and some of us were sitting inside and doing bhajan. And lo and behold, we saw we heard the footsteps end at the doorstep, close to a door, and a kind of a light went around all the pictures. It was almost like you can say a lamp traveling from one end to the other end of all the whole altar. And then we were very excited to see that, and most of us saw it. And once the bhajan was over, we ran to the pictures to see what was this light. Did it burn anything or anything like that? But we saw amrit flowing from all the pictures. Literally amrit, and in fact, I even tasted. It was very sweet. So that was the first visitation of Swami at our place. Then we started going to the bhajans more frequently, and in one of these bhajans, it was a cold day, and I started singing a few bhajans here and there. And I remember I used to sing this bhajan very often.
Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Gopi Gopabala. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Gopi Gopabala. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Murali Gana Lola. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Murali Gana Lola. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Radha Ramana Lola. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Radha Ramana Lola. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Nanda Gopabala. Govinda Hare Gopal Hare He Nanda Gopabala. Govinda Hare Hare, He Gopi Gopala.
This was the most common thing I would sing, and it was also actually a Swami used to sing this bhajan. And what happened was in one of the homes where the bhajan was held, and I sang this bhajan. And after the bhajan, there was all vibhuti on my coat. I was wearing a coat because it was cold. That part of the country is gets pretty cold in the winter. I think it was in the winter months, and there was all vibhuti spread all on my coat, and everyone was very excited because I was sitting in the bhajan and the vibhuti was all on my coat. So uh, like it was there a lot of joy, a lot of and so much so that the person who was the main organizer of bhajans, Panikar, he had tears in his eyes, and he said he felt Swami's presence in the bhajans. So that's how we started going more frequently to bhajans, and then we moved to um, a different city called Dibrugarh, where I joined Don Bosco, and Hirak also joined the same school. And I did my PUC as there. Those days it was pre-university rather than grade 12, which is equivalent to grade 12. And I did my pre-university. And during my pre-university, I happened to join the Sevadal. And now we were very active in the Sai Samiti there in Dibrugarh, and so I became a part of Sevadal, and so there was a Sevadal group which came to Puttaparthi in the um, in the month of October, November, when the functions happened. This was the days when this was in 1972, the days when Purnachandra Hall was being built. It was not built yet. And I was part of the Sevadal group, and we had various assignments like passing the bricks, passing the sand, and so our whole group would be allocated some work or night duty, like where we had to kind of go around the Prashanti Nilayam and keep dogs and thieves away. We never caught any thieves, but dogs were a menace there. So anyway, when in such tasks, Swami would often come and see what's going on, and how the civil members are doing, and like ask others to bring water for us or some so that we don't get too exhausted. And it was daytimes are kind of hot in Puttaparthi, though that time of the year it's pretty pleasant. So we and Swami would come right in front of me and ask my name. He said, "Kahan se aaya?" I would say Assam, and then say Naam kya hai. So these he keep on doing this, repeating the same things again and again, like number of times. And when Sevadal members are instructed not to touch Swami's feet when he comes in front of you. Otherwise you are kind of leading the rest of the devotees to. You are supposed to be guarding Swami away from the rest of the devotees, and if you go and touch the feet, it is kind of leading the devotees to do the same thing, and there'll be a kind of chaos there. So we are not we are asked not to specifically touch Swami's feet unless Swami comes in front of you and asks, "Okay, you can touch my feet now." You know, so many times when our chance was there to sit in the veranda, Puttaparthi those days was very different. There was no Kulwant Rai Hall. There was Purnachandra was being constructed. It was all sand in the front, and there was a veranda, and we would be allowed. The several members would be allowed to sit on specific days. Like for example, one day it was Assam's turn, one day it is Andhra Pradesh's turn, one day it is Tamil Nadu's turn. It was like that. So when our turn came, we sat there. Again, Swami came right in front of me, and he said, "Kahan se aaya? Kya naam hai?" These are two questions you can keep on asking during that trip. And then one of those days he came right in front and said, Tago. Tago means touch his feet. So I touched his feet. And you know the feeling when Swami comes in front of you. As it is, we are all in awe, and like the heart goes dunk, 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 like, you know, and you're so kind of overwhelmed by just his presence. And it's like it's a feeling that, I mean, you don't exist there. It's like that. So, and in such moments, that was the feeling I had, and that is, I don't know whether how to explain it, but it is. I think most of you have experienced those, and that kind of feeling when he comes across, he comes near you, you kind of get overwhelmed, and you don't know what to do. Many times you're just frozen. So this was the feeling in those days, and then soon after, this was 1972, 1973, I had the opportunity to come to the summer course in Whitefield. So there used to be summer courses held in Whitefield for a month-long summer course. And I think most of you would have come to the summer course. Venkat, have you?
No, I've not been to a summer course. No, I've not been to a summer course. No.
So summer courses are basically different scholars are invited, and they kind of give like they're short courses, mainly philosophy, religion, and like the lectures on Upanishads, Vedas, lectures on Vedanta, and some bhakti stuff, and something on yoga and all that kind of thing. And so very well-known scholars used to be invited. And in the evening, there used to be always the bhajan before the dinner. And then the bhajan used to be held in the there was a shamiana, or more like a tent constructed on the side of the old Vrindavan, where Swami would come, and the boys would sit and sing bhajans. This is the gate, and you can see the building at the back. Swami is just coming out for darshan, and we might be standing somewhere here. And then I think this is Dr. Rao, who was teaching chemistry. And yeah, this is the top of old Vrindavan, where Swami used to give darshan in the morning. After Nagar Sankirtan, he would come out and give darshan. And there was this side door, which is actually many students would stand at the bottom. This is a two-story building, and you can go to the this is the entrance of the old Vrindavan, and this is the interview room of the old Vrindavan. And this is the bhajan hall, where when Swami is in Vrindavan, all the students were called in, and Swami would sit right in the center, and we would be all surrounding him and do bhajan. Coming back to the summer course, Vrindavan summer course of 73, he would come, and I was singing his bhajan, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Gopalam.
भज गोविंदम भज गोपालम भज गोविंदम भज गोपालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम भज गोविंदम भज गोपालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम 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 आलम दीन दयालम दीन दयालम दीन दयालम दीन दयालम दीन दयालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम भज गोविंदम भज गोपालम केशव माधव दीन दयालम.
So yeah, he would Swami would come again and again, and whenever I was there in the front to sing, he would, even if I'm sitting at the back, sometimes he would say, "Come and sing the bhajan." You know, he would ask me to sing the same bhajan again and again, and he does that actually to some other boy at the same time in the same summer course. He was from Calcutta. He used to sing that famous bhajan, Narayana Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Shantakara Bhujanga Shayana. He made that bhajan very popular in that summer course. And I think the following year it was um, this bhajan, famous bhajan, which Swami sings, Sai Bhajana Vina. So every summer course, there's a new bhajan which comes up, and either Swami picks it up or he keeps asking the people to repeat the bhajans. So that was Swami's, and again during the summer course, not much was spoken from Swami's side, and he would come in front of me and ask me the same thing: "Kahan se aaya? Kya naam hai? Kahan se aaya? Kya naam hai?" Like, same Assam se aaya. Uh, Naam Rupak. I mean, that went on. Then I went back. I had not still finished my PU or 12th, and went back and finished PU. And the uh, kind of the spring of 74, Dr. Gokak, who was more actually the retired vice chancellor from Bangalore University and a very, very famous man in India, literature and Jnanpith Award winner, as well as he was also the chair of the Jnanpith Award. So he visited Assam because we were having a regional conference in Assam, Satyasai Samiti Regional Conference. So he visited, and when his speech and all, I was very, very impressed. In those days, to hear such eloquent scholarly English, and his devotion to Swami and his understanding of Swami was amazing. And so I was impressed, and then I went and asked him when he was there. It was, I think, about April, May, and of 74. And I went and asked him whether I could come to the college in Vrindavan. And he said, of course, definitely. You just send the application, and you can join the college. So what happened was, but unfortunately, our results came very late. It was in usually the um, the BSc course starts in Vrindavan in June, whereas our results came somewhere towards end of June or beginning of July. So these classes had already started for for the BSc course had already started. So I still applied, and my application was received late. It was almost towards the middle of July, and but what happened was I got a reply from them. You come immediately. The classes have started, uh, but you are admitted to the college. It so happened that I believe later I learned it would so happen that Gokak took my application to Swami, and Swami said call him. So I was literally called by Swami himself to join the college. As soon as I joined the college, the class was in full swing, and it took a little time to get adjusted because I don't know whether any of you know how the hostel was then. It was just a hall with space. You had to carry, you had to have your own bed. You sleep on the bed in the night, roll it, and then and there were two bathing houses and two toilets, and this was upstairs. Downstairs was the dining hall, and there were a couple of more rooms. I think one, two, three rooms, which the boys used to sleep in the night. So it was very simple accommodation for the boys, and there was another hall on the other side where it was later expanded. Where I don't know, any of you have seen those that have lived in Harrier? No, I think when did you join? Or is it all muted? Okay, it's all muted. It's fine. It's fine. So it was very simple living. You're muted. You muted. That's okay. So it was very simple. And then evenings, whenever Swami is in Vrindavan, we would all run into the bhajan hall and try to grab the closest seat to Swami. And he would, and then we would sing bhajans, and he would play the manjira, and he would, and when the bhajan is happening in front of him, uh, it's not like organized bhajan where you sing first. There's no one. Swami asks, you sing, you sing like that. It's not that you organize or you're going to sing first, or I'm going to sing the second or whatever. But whoever Swami asks, he sings. So and he would, I would sing this bhajan, which I think is a rare bhajan. And he would keep on asking me to sing. One was Ganga Jata Zara Gauri Shankar, which every one of you know, and Swami also sings that bhajan. And the other one was this bhajan. I think I played that Sapne Me Aao Shama Murari.
Sapne Me Aao Shama Murari, Sapne Me Aao Shama Murari, Savari Surat Murali Dhari, Savari Surat Murali Dhari, Sapne Me Aao Shama Murari, Sapne Me Aao Shama Murari, सबके साजन प्रभु गिरधारी, सबके साजन प्रभु गिरधारी, सबके साजन प्रभु गिरधारी, सद्गुरु साई प्रतिविहारी, सद्गुरु साई प्रतिविहारी, सपने में आओ श्याम मुरारी, सपने में आओ श्याम मुरारी.
Yeah, this is a very different bhajan. Not those fast-paced bhajans that we usually love to sing. And Swami also enjoys the fast-paced, but he also enjoys these very classically oriented bhajans. Did you say something? You want to sing anything? Ariel?
Pardon?
Did you say something?
No, I told. Yes, you are right. Because both he loves fast and emotional, classical style. Both he loves. That's right.
And there's actually another bhajan. I didn't record that because I think it would take too much time. I don't know whether you guys have heard. मैं क्या करूं, मैं क्या करूं, कोई नहीं मेरा तेरे बिना. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
These bhajans are not usually sung in bhajans these days because they're kind of classical, slow, so they don't catch up the kind of excite people, I think. But they're so beautiful. They're very
Yeah.
beautiful. Some of these beautiful bhajans. I was remembering yesterday many of these
You
very.
can you sing it full, please? Just like that.
मैं क्या करूं, मैं क्या करूं, कोई नहीं मेरा तेरे बिना, शिरडी निवासी ए प्रभु, तू परति निवासी दया करो, मंगल आरती समयों के मंगल गुण गावो रे, मंगल गुण गावो रे, मैं क्या करूं, मैं क्या करूं, कोई नहीं मेरा तेरे बिना. Beautiful, right?
Thanks for reminding. Thanks.
Beautiful. Really, really touches your innards.
Yes.
All right, so this was a bhajan which he used to keep on asking me to sing, and of course there are so many other bhajans. Like this was another one, and Mujhe Darash Dikhao Bhagavan. I used to sing that in Puttaparthi, and many a times it was all Swami's grace, of course, and blessings. But many a times when sometimes it so happens either it is coincidence or Swami's ways. He would come to give the darshan. So like, Mujhe darshan dikhao Bhagavan. Start that bhajan and Swami is right there. It was like, my God, what is happening? People would be thrilled, and yeah, I'm sure you guys all have experienced these.
Please sing this bhajan.
Huh?
Please, Darshadika Bhagwan, why don't you sing that, please?
Bhagavan, Bhagavan, mujhe दर्श दिखाओ भगवान, हे साईनाथ भगवान, मुझे दर्श दिखाओ भगवान, तुम जानत सब अंतर्यामी, दीजो प्रभु मेरे अमृतवाणी, तुम हो मेरे प्राणनाथ बाबा, तुम हो मेरे प्राणनाथ बाबा, पूर्ण करो मेरे मन के प्राण बाबा, पूर्ण करो मेरे मन के त्राण बाबा, दर्श दिखाओ भगवान.
Sabash. Sabash.
Beautiful.
Sabash.
It is a beautiful one. It's Darbari.
Yeah,
Totally,
Darbari.
yeah, in tune with the Oh Dunya Ke Ragwati. Same tune, but very, very beautiful. Anyway, so these are days when bhajan was being sung, and Swami would ask us many of us, not me alone, but many of us to sing this bhajan, that bhajan, and so this went on. And in the spring of 1975, which was around March, about February time frame, um, Swami, when in those days, Vrindavan also was very, very different. There was no hall as such. It was open grounds, and there was this big, big banyan tree in front of the students' hostel. And he would come from the Vrindavan, his abode, come out, and then this he would come to give the darshan, the banyan tree, and all devotees would sit around the banyan tree. And and one such occasion, one such day, he rushed into the hostel. The hostel had the living quarters on the top, and the bottom was a dining hall. Dining hall had, these granite slabs on top of cement blocks, like literally, were the tables where we would sit and eat. And there were also like stone chairs, like uh, a table with kind of cement blocks. On top was the granite slab, which was also not even polished. Actually, it was kind of rough, pretty rough. And this was the table, and then you have the chair where we sit and eat our breakfast or lunch or dinner, whatever. So this was empty, but Swami came in, and then someone suddenly rushed and brought a chair for him, and all the students gathered around. I think it was the evening time, sometime in the evening. So and the principal also was with us, Principal Narendra, and he said, Narendra, I think we should have a drama or a play enacted. So Narendra said, yes, Swami, definitely. When Swami says something, you can't kind of go against him and say, no, we can't have a play. That's not like that. So Narendra said, yes, Swami, definitely, Swami. So now, what will be the um, theme of the play? So he asked Swami, Dr. Narendra asked Swami, what should we have the play as? Then he said, why don't we have Shankaracharya's play? So it was decided it would be Shankaracharya, but the actual name was not decided. So he said, again, he started talking about it, and then he said, then he said, what about who's going to be the main actor in the play? Then Narendra said, Swami, you choose. You can choose whomever you want. And then Swami said, what about Rupaku? The only Rupaku at that time. Rupak Sharma had not come yet. So, said Rupaku. I said, okay, Swami. I didn't say anything, but Narendra said, yes, Swami, definitely. And so it was decided that I'll be the main role, Shankaracharya. And the name of the play was decided also by, in consultation with Swami. It was called Bhajagovidam, mainly because the 14 verses of Bhajagovindam was the theme of the play. And Dr. Narendra and Anup Jalani and Kamal Sani, they helped in writing the script. And then Swami was still in Vrindavan, and we started the practice of Bhajagovinda. He would come to the practices and then correct the rules, correct the kind of diction, correct the how to present, what the emotion should be, should be expressed, and very, very thorough. And he would literally come every day to the practices. And actually, we used to practice in the hall, where there was a small little office, and behind there was a hall. It was like a shed, one more shed, and the people used to boys used to sleep there, but we used it for our practice. Now, at that point, there was no auditorium, no nothing constructed in Whitefield. The new college was just coming up, and the hostel thing has not even started. The new hostel had not even started. So Swami said, where should we have this play? And it was decided that the play should be held under the banyan tree. The banyan tree has a rotunda, like a big rotunda, like it is like elevated from the the lower platform. Like it's concrete around, but it's like maybe something like 20 feet across, 20 feet diameter, circular 20 feet diameter, and the rest of it might be 40 to 50 feet, a little bit more. So people would sit there, and rest of the people would sit in the sand. So this was our stage, and the whole play was presented on under the banyan tree for the first time. It was very interesting that there's no green room. There's everyone had to kind of we had to put some coverings so that the actors can come onto the stage, and it was it was very well accepted. People were very appreciative, and so I think the next time we presented it in Puttaparthi once more, and the third time we presented in Shanmugananda Hall in Bombay. Now the theme of this was Bhaja Govindam, 14 verses of Bhaja Govindam written by Adi Shankaracharya. This is me in Satyadeep. The Dharmakshetra is also has called Satyadeep. So this was the whole group. You can see many of us there. Some of Radha Krishna, Anujalani, Shankar Barua, then Kiran, Shankar Subramaniam is there, Nityananda, Manoj Kumar, Manoj Nakra, Manoj Nakra, Sudarshan, Srinivas, Sagar, Rakesh Vadera. The whole group went, many of them, some of them were from, I'm next to Swami there. Yeah, this is me. And Shankar Subramaniam was there in the play. What is his name? Just behind Anup Jalani. What is it? Yeah, this was a group, and some more were there who were in the play. This was the
That
Christ.
looks like Satish.
Satish, yeah, not yeah, Satish.
Yep.
Satish is behind Shankar Subramaniam. So for one verse of Bhaja Govindam.
Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, Samprapte sannihite kale, Nahi nahi rakshati tukran karane, Nahi nahi rakshati tukran karane, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate.
So yeah, this had 14 verses. We didn't actually present all the 14 verses, but we had a scene, and then every scene had a verse from the Bhaja Govindam, like Punarapi Janani, Punarapi Marani, Punarapi. That shocks. Actually, the Swami also would sometimes, when the play was being practiced and all, speak about this work of Shankaracharya, where he says, Shankaracharya says that what is the use of worldly knowledge? Pursue the name of God, and you will cross this ocean of Maya. That's what the whole theme of this Bhaja Govindam is, and one of them is the Punarapi Janani, Punarapi Marani. That is about Punarapi Maranam, which is you're going to be. I mean, he's talking about having multiple lives. You're going to die. You're going to be born again, die and born again. So try to kind of accumulate as much good deeds so that you can transcend this ocean of
Samsara.
birth and death, or the cycle of birth and death. You know, you become a moksha, what they call it. So this is a very beautiful, and Swami would speak about it in the evening. This went on, and this was the spring of '75, and then we were taken to. What happened was in the fall of '75, I started having fever, and this was during the Dasara time, where Swami would be in Puttaparthi most of the time, and I started having fever, and the fever wouldn't go. So Swami asked that I be brought to Puttaparthi in a car. He arranged for the car and everything, and I was brought to Puttaparthi. And in Puttaparthi, I was accommodated not in the hostel where other boys would stay, but in Prashanti Nilayam itself. Like Swami is sleeping upstairs, I was sleeping downstairs in the same Prashanti Nilayam. And function time, usually Swami doesn't give too many interviews. So I was sleeping in the interview room. Next to the interview room, there's another room. If you have been to the interview room is Swami has a chair. The next to that is there's a door leading to a small room which has got no chairs, no nothing. It's empty, but he takes people so one-on-one kind of talk if he wants to have. He'll take them inside. And there's an adjoining room, and next to that is the dining hall where Swami comes to for his food. And I was allowed to sleep in that room which was next to the interview room. And if he was not seeing anyone, and even if he would see someone, he would just I would close the door, and he would see someone in the interview room. But most of the time, in the function time, we would not see anyone. And now my fever is not getting. I'm not out of fever. I have fever every day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And there were doctors. A lot of doctors were there. There was one doctor, Alreja, in Puttaparthi. He used to come and check me out. Then there was a lot of doctors during the function time. A lot of doctors also visit from Bangalore. There was one, the Dr. Narsaya. He used to come and check my temperature. Swami had a lot of faith in Dr. Narsaya. So he was checking temperature, and the fever would not go. It was like 103, 104, that kind of fever every day for a pretty long time. And they started giving me the strongest antibiotics, but yet the fever would not go. So one of these days, I went to the toilet in the night and I fell. So Swami, and of course, the food was all arranged. Food was arranged by Mrs. Ratnalal and Swami's sisters, and was brought to me, and full care. Swami would come and visit me off and on and see how I'm feeling, what's going on, and then the doctor will come with him. And so it was like a Swami, mother, father, caretaker, all in one. And it was like overwhelming to see his grace and his care for the student. You know, I was just a student at that point. So it was just kind of I mean, even if I think now, tears start rolling down my eyes. It was so much of care, so much of love. And then what happened was, one of those days I was taken upstairs where Swami sits. You can show that picture. Anyway, you can show that picture. I can talk about it. So one of those days when the fever was pretty high, the previous day, yeah, hold on there. So uh, fever was very high, and I was taken upstairs where Swami sits in the afternoons. or even in the morning sometimes. I was allowed to come upstairs. I was sitting against a wall, and Swami was. I had that day, this fever suddenly went off, and then Swami was having fever. So this is Mr. Karundananda. He is a sannyasi, and he started shouting at me, saying that, see, for you, Swami has got the fever. He took the fever from you. And I started crying. When it started scolding, as it is, I was weak and tired. And when he started scolding me, Swami scolded him again and started scolding him and saying that, why are you blaming him? Poor thing, he is suffering so much. What if I get a fever for a day or two? And fever went off that day, but again it came back, but it was not as severe as previous to that, but fever continued. So that was the experience of experiencing Swami in father, mother, caretaker, all in one. Brother. What when we can dump all the different relations into one single Swami. So it was very overwhelming experience. Um, can go. You can come back. So that was my. And then then what happened was I was then after the function was over, I was moved back to Bangalore, and Swami instructed the doctors, first thing you should do is take him to the hospital, have a blood test done. Till then, there was no blood test done. And in those days, the hospital was not very it was not as big as it is today. And they didn't have facilities to do blood tests. They didn't have a lab and all that. So we had to go to Bangalore to get the blood test. As soon as the blood test was done, it was discovered it is typhoid. And then they gave you the real medicine for typhoid, and the fever came off. So, but by that time, I was so weak, and Swami, in Vrindavan those days, I don't know whether you've seen in Vrindavan those days, there was a room adjoining. There was something called a safe room. There was the hall where bhajan hall was there, and then next to that there was another hall, and on the right to that it was a safe room, and there behind the safe room there's another room, which I used to be sleeping, and there attached to that is a bathroom. So that was my sleeping. I used to sleep there, and because college had already started, I could not go to the college, so I was resting there, and then Swami came and he used to come and see me there, and that was my it became my permanent sleeping room, or my bedroom actually. And eventually Swami constructed a room adjoining the dining hall upstairs. The old Vrindavan had Swami's rooms. There were 1, 2, 3 rooms there, and one of the room was Swami's bedroom, and then there was a hall, a walkway, like a long hall, and then there was a dining hall in the back, and next to the dining hall, he got a room constructed where I could sleep, and next to the room was a bed, was a bathroom and toilet. So I was shifted there. So from then onwards, I was living literally with Swami, either in Vrindavan, and even in Puttaparthi, he got one room constructed at the back. Where East Prashanti, the South Prashanti. South Prashanti, there's a room facing a South Prashanti, which was my room in Prashanti Nilayam. So then onwards, I was always living with Swami, and so that was how he brought me very, very close to him physically. Of course, I guess spiritually he was already close, but physically also he brought me very close. In those days, during the function time, we used to have music concerts. And I'm sure Hariharan, Sonam have that experience. And we used to sing different, so I mean, a lot of different collections of, that Ram Katha was one of them. We picked up Ram Katha, me and Hirok, I think. We sang together, and many other students were also part of the group. And so when these concerts used to happen, we had violins. Hariran, you would have played in violin those days, right?
Hari Shankar.
Yeah, Hari Shankar, yeah. Hari Shankar and Dujati used to play. Yeah, there was.
Dujati was not there.
No,
At the
no,
time
no.
it was Sai Katha.
Hari Shankar, Sonam.
Yeah, and we used to practice, and Swami used to come to practice. Not so much in the hostel, but in the kind of green room in the Purnachandra Hall, behind Purnachandra Hall. We used to practice there, and Swami used to come and check out how is it going and all that. So we used to sing different bhajans, songs. Ram Katha was one of them, and then some songs from a lot of Jalota songs, a lot of Hari Om Sharan songs. And one of the songs is one of Swami's favorites as well as my favorite, Kabira.
कबीरा जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे हम रोए कबीरा जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे हम रोए ऐसी करनी कर चलो हम हंसे जग रोए चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी झीनी रे झीनी के राम नाम रस पीनी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी के राम नाम हे राम नाम हे राम नाम हे राम नाम रस पीनी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी अष्टकमल का चरख बनाया पांच तत्व की पूनी अष्टकमल का चरख बनाया पांच तत्व की पूनी 9-10 मास बुनन खोलागे 9-10 मास बुनन खोलागे जो की त्यों घर की नी चदरिया झीनी रे झीनी के राम नाम हे राम नाम हे राम नाम हे राम नाम रस पीनी चदरिया झीनी रे जी झीनी रे जी झीनी रे झीनी
This was, and then it was not just bhajans, bhajans of Jalota or Hari Om Sharan, but we also picked up like songs from like more Telugu songs. And one of the Swami's favorite was, this was actually the song from Bhakta Tukaram, Ghana Ghana Sundara.
Hari Sundara Karuna Rasamanjira Ghana Ghana Sundara Karuna Rasamanjira Adi Pilupu Melu Kolupo Ni Pilupu Melu Kolipo Ati Madhura 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 Mokara Namo Panduranga Panduranga Ghana Ghana Sundara Karuna Rasamanjira Adi Pilupu Melu Kolupo Ni Pilupu Melu Kolupo Hari Panduranga Panduranga Ghana Ghana Sundara Hari Ranga Panduranga Ghana Ghana Sundara Karuna Rasamanjira.
So we used to sing different songs, and Swami used to be always encouraging us. And the best part was, in one of these concerts, actually, I was singing Kabira, and Anup Jalota was sitting in the audience. Many of these very well-known artists used to come and see Swami, and actually P. Sushila used to come very regularly, and brother Ramakrishna used to come very. He's also a playback singer. And so next, one of these concerts when Anup Jalota was sitting next to him, Swami was saying, "Hamara ladka kitna अच्छा गाता है, हमारा लड़का कितना अच्छा गाता है." My students are singing better than you. Like, you would compare, and then after the concert, he will ask people around, devotees who would come from various parts of the world, "Oh, how did you like the concert?" He would kind of show us off, literally. I've seen that because I was always behind him or around him, and he would ask, "How did you like the concert?" And the best part was Swami, how he cared for us, not only the practices, but also because those days musical instruments, mainly electronic instruments, were not easy to get in India, and either they are very very expensive, or it's not that the cost was very high, but they were not available. So anyone who would ask Swami, what can I get for you? Because there's so many foreign visitors who would come, and they will ask Swami, what can I get for you, Swami? What can I? He said, uh, ask what the students would like to have for the musical instruments, and we got a very nice synthesizer. We got very double stage organ. So these were all like Swami would always, and then different drum sets and all kinds of musical instruments were being brought by devotees from all over the like from either from England, Singapore, or Hong Kong, and so we would then accordions and stuff like that. And Sonam used to play accordion, right? Yes, Sonam.
Correct.
Yeah, you remember those days, right, Sonam?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How
So,
can anyone forget?
We cannot forget.
you can't
B.L.
forget, yeah.
Narayan used to play the veena. B.L. Narayan, remember?
No, not BL. I think Durjeti, no?
No, B.L. Narayan was, Durjati was not there. He
No,
came
no.
much later.
83, Durjati came.
Oh,
Durjati
83,
was
yeah,
from Patti. Yeah.
83 was there.
yeah. Other time he was there.
Yeah, that time Rupak ji sang Vidya Bhushamani.
Oh, yes. 58th birthday. That was Swami's 58th birthday. 58.
53rd, 57th.
58. 58.
50th was 76, 50th, right?
Yeah, but
50th was a
Vidyaku
76.
Vinayami. Vinayami.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so this was our days of musical concerts in Puttaparthi, then Brindavan, and like a lot of them. Like I think I don't even remember how many times we performed on the stage with the various artists, various students mainly. So that was our experience of Swami's involvement with the students in musical concerts, in plays. So another one I want to, during that time, one of these functions, Swami had a paralytic stroke. Can and what happened was we were in the function was going on, and what happened was he could not walk. He was paralyzed on one side, and because and his he did not have movement, so we had to basically carry him. He was not giving darshan for quite a few days, and the devotees became very despondent, and we had to literally carry him to the the Prashantalam had an open, I think it still has an open veranda on the top where he can come and give darshan, and we would just prop him up, and then he would just wave his hand and come back. It was so difficult for him to walk and all, and he would be sitting upstairs, and he had to be helped for everything. So one fine day he said that Rupak, go and get some water from downstairs. So I brought some water in a pot, and he said that when I came up, he said, take a little in the hand and sprinkle on my feet. And I did that. And I said, whatever Swami is saying, I have to follow. So I sprinkled the water, and lo and behold, his paralysis went off. Of course, he didn't completely recover, but it was slowly he started walking, and then another 2-3 days he was totally fine. The instrument. This made me an instrument, and literally, because he would not cure himself, use his own powers to cure himself. And later it was learned that he took someone else's paralytic stroke somewhere in a nearby village. I think it was in somewhere in Penukunda or somewhere close by. And that was kind of miraculous. Everyone was stunned to see what Swami can really experience. I mean, I can never forget that experience in my whole life. Okay, so the next that after that, apart from his showering his grace and his blessings on us, was this beautiful. Ramakatha was narrated, but Rama was not there. But Ramakatha was composed by these two famous duo of Andhra Pradesh, Anand, what is his name? Rajeshwar Rao and
Adinarayan Rao.
Adinarayan Rao and Rajeshwar Rao. And it was the Lavakusha, the movie called Lavakusha, in which they composed the Ramakatha. But that was not when Rama was living at that time. But then they had the opportunity to compose Sai Katha in Sai's life himself. So they came up with the idea and they asked Swami, should we want to compose the Sai Katha? Adinarayan Rao was the one who initiated it. Adinarayan Rao is Anjali Devi's husband. Anjali Devi is a famous actress of the South. And she has acted in a lot of beautiful roles of Sita. And anyway, so he came to Swami and said, Swami, we want to compose the Sai Katha. So Swami said, yeah, go ahead. So the lyrics were written by Adinarayan Rao. So now the tuning and all has to be done by Rajeshwar Rao, who's actually more the music director, and Adinarayan Rao was a lyricist of this Sai Katha. So Swami said, okay, fine, you compose it and you come to Vrindavan. So they came, both Adinarayan and Rajeshwar, and they brought also assistant director with them, a music director, to basically note down the notations and all that. And they were there for almost 10 to 15 days. I think Hariharan and Sonam, you were there that time, right? During the composition of Sai Katha. So every day they would sit in the bhajan hall downstairs, and Swami was upstairs, and they would compose. And Swami would come and listen, and they would note down the notations and all that. And then the whole thing was complete. So maybe almost, I think, a week, 10 days they took to completely finish the whole compositions. And then they asked Swami, who's going to sing the... So, of course, they had already decided that P. Sushila is going to be one of the voices. And they were debating whether it should be P. Sushila's nephew, whose name is Ramakrishna. He sung in Sant Tukaram. Actually, this Gana Gana is his song. And yes, they were debating whether it should be...
Also, his song is Panduranganamam, Parmapunya Dhamam.
Correct. Yeah. So they were debating. Then they went and asked Swami, should he be the singer? Swami said, no, it will be Rupak. So I was again thrown into the fire. But it was a beautiful experience, Swami's blessings. And so we had started practicing here only. A few days they were there and they made us practice the different it's like 58 minutes long with different songs, and they're all they're very similar to Ramakatha. So if you can play Venkat, the first one, Madhuram Madhuram.
Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha Navarasa Bharitam Swami Katha Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha Navarasa Bharitam Swami Katha Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha Sakala Shubhamulanu Sampadalo Sagi Sakala Papamulu Harinchu Gatha Madhuram Madhuram Sai Katha Navarasa नवरस भरितं स्वामी कथा मधुरं मधुरं साई कथा.
And another one in this, another composition is actually Swami was instrumental in putting this, where it was in the Qawwali style. You can put the second one, Venkat.
Niko Salam Baba.
Yeah.
Because
Niko salam Baba, alaikum salam Baba. Niko salam Baba, alaikum salam Baba. Niko salam Baba, alaikum salam Baba. तेरा गुलाम मेरा जान बचाओ जरा, तेरा गुलाम मेरा जान बचाओ जरा. निको सलाम बाबा, अलैको सलाम बाबा. निको सलाम बाबा, अलैको सलाम बाबा. तेरा गुलाम मेरा जान बचाओ जरा, तेरा गुलाम मेरा नाम बचाओ जरा. निको सलाम बाबा. मादी झटका गुर्रम मायामयी इंदी बाबा. मादी झटका गुर्रम मायामयी इंदी बाबा. ना की कोई काम नहीं, मेरा दिल अच्छा नहीं. ना की कोई काम नहीं, मेरा दिल अच्छा नहीं. చూపించు మాది గురం, రక్షించు మాది ప్రాణం. చూపించు మాది గురం, రక్షించు మాది ప్రాణం. నికో సలాం బాబా, అలైకో సలాం బాబా. నికో సలాం బాబా.
Another beautiful thing, and this was there's a very beautiful one, which is Yenni janmala yenni nomula punyamu manaishwarambaku. Yenni janmala yenni nomula punyamu manaishwarambaku. జగములేలి జగన్నాథుడై తనయుడై జన్మించగా ముచ్చగములే హర్షింపగా. లాలి 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 ఎన్ని జన్మల ఎన్ని నోముల పుణ్యమో మనైశ్వరాంబకు. It's a beautiful composition.
Please sing Nene Sai Baba no.
Nene Sai Baba no.
With the alap. With the alap.
With the alap. How is it's kind of out of touch? How is the alap? Are you talking about not Nene Sai Baba? That is, the other one is you're talking about the very classical one.
yeah, sing that, Rupati. Just sing. Nene Babu. Nene Sai Baba. Just sing.
Nene Sai Baba nu, Shirdi Sai Baba nu. Nene Sai Baba nu, Shirdi Sai Baba nu. I don't remember the words now. The words are
No problem. No problem.
This is about
Sai
Baba. So it throws the flowers. I guess you have all read the Sai Satcharita, or no, not Sai Satcharita, but the Kasturi's books on Swami.
So you remember Rupakji,
Satyam
when we were
Sundaram.
recording, when we were recording this part, Nene Sai Baba no, in the studio,
Yeah.
the entire recording had to be stopped because everyone was crying.
Yeah.
In the control room, everybody was crying, so the recording had to be stopped for some time for the crying session.
Correct. Yes.
That is how you sang.
It was beautiful. Actually, we were all actually the recording was done in Chennai.
Chennai.
All went from Bangalore, the whole group, and in those days there was no digital recording, right? So everyone was sitting in one room, the violins on one side, the drummers on another booth, and the music directors, singers. It was very interesting. Nowadays, everything can be individually done and then joined together, right? But those days,
No
digital
emotion.
was
Oh,
had not come into. It was actually HMV, I think HMV Studios in
FMV.
Chennai. So it took almost like 3 or 4 days, right? Do you remember how many days it took? We used to
Yeah,
have late nights
almost 4 days.
and everything was all. Swami used to kind of fully take care. I mean, when he's involved, he's so involved that you cannot. His passion is just amazing. So that was Sai Katha. I can sing the whole. The Sai Katha itself is like 58 minutes, but I just took a few from here and there. And it was a kind of a tremendous experience for all of us. And Swami was every step of Sai Katha, he was involved. In fact, I don't know whether you have the album. I should have taken a picture of the album. The picture of the album is Swami's playing the Tanpura.
Kanpura. Correct.
And that picture was taken upstairs when Swami was, the Tanpura was, I think someone gifted the Tanpura to Swami. And then moment the Tanpura came, he sat and I took the pictures. Those are pictures I took.
Oh, yes, you have taken. Oh, okay.
And actually, I think, Pitawala's brother, uncle.
History.
Yeah,
Mystery.
Mystery, yeah. How are you with the time, Max? It was 2 hours.
You know what we could do? I'll just go through those pictures you've sent. Maybe you quickly run through them. They are amazing pictures. And I'm as excited as you are to see all the pictures you have taken for everyone to see.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just get into those pictures and you talk about them from the one with the safari suit series. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go back.
So Swami, this is actually Swami sent us for 2 trips. One to Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. And this is actually the one. Then he made us ordered suits for us. The tailor came to Vrindavan, took our measurements and all that, and made suits for us to go to. This was a trip to Europe. We visited 7 countries in 21 days. It was really fast trip. Part of this was organized by Antonio Craxi, and the rest of it was organized by V. Srinivasan from Chennai, who was the owner of WS Insulators. So this is a trip we took. Swami sent us. It was his blessings again. Next, you can go next. This is on the way to Ooty. Swami used to go to Ooty very often. And sometimes he used to hold some small short courses in Ooty. So this is one of those trips where he suddenly stops on the way and then there's one of his fun kind of jocular mood. He will pose for pictures. Go next picture. This is the actually in Mudumalai, which is on the way to Ooty. And this was like a guest house we stayed in for the night. Okay, this is the same guest house. Outside has a beautiful grounds, and then it's sloping down, So he's the left side picture is he's posing sitting on a tree, and I took this picture. And then he went little. There are some bushes, and he went little away, and I did not know why. I was carrying the camera, so I did not know why he was going away from the crowd, a little bit away. And so he said, "Come, Rupak, take a picture of me." So I took a picture, the Polaroid camera, and Polaroid camera comes completely white as the film comes out of the camera, and then he said, "Now give it to me." So I gave it to him, and he said, and he went away, and he waved the picture, and then he when he showed us the picture, this is his hand actually, Swami's own hand. When he showed the picture, it was Dattatreya. So we were all kind of amazed, and everyone was, what is this? Swami is. We have the belief in us that he's the incarnation of God, but always because of the physical proximity, we keep forgetting that, right? But then he literally showed this picture, and everyone said, "Oh my God!" This is like, and I don't know, maybe because he was with that kind of the 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 energy of Dattatreya. He didn't want people to come close to him. I don't know about that. So this is the miracle which happened on the way to Uti. Picture of Dattatreya. I take his picture, and then it transforms into Dattatreya's picture. So Dattatreya and Swami are the same. I mean, he can transform himself to any of the godheads we worship. So this is one of the trips in the forest of Mudumalai, where he took a elephant ride. At the back is he is a minister from Andhra Pradesh. Don't remember his name now. I was sitting somewhere here behind him. Okay, go ahead. The next one. Now this was I used to travel with him most of the trips. In those days, only after starting my PhD program, I travel less with him. But even short trips, I would still take because my supervisor would be kind of upset if I take too long away from my PhD program. So this was a trip to Kashmir, where we were hosted by Lieutenant General Malhotra. You can see Lieutenant Malhotra and his wife here. And then I'm carrying the big camera bag and cameras and all that. This Shankar Barua. We had all of us had gone with Swami. This is and one of there are beautiful flowing rivers in Kashmir. We were stayed in Udhampur, but we used to make trips to different locations. Next one. Oh, this is actually it happened around the time of my birthday, around June 8th. We went, I think, somewhere 3rd or 4th of June, and 8th happened to be staying there. So he surprised me he ordered a cake for me. My birthday is on June 8th. So he ordered a cake for me and surprised me. Next one. That's his love, immense love, Then all these materializations. This is a statue of Rama and Sita. Then lingas. He would go to these locations where on the riverside and Pelgam, Dachigam. All materializations. He would just suddenly materialize. Now this is a Spatika linga. He just placed here, and he's showing it to everyone. So these are some of his fun moments. Swami is also a lot of fun. whenever he likes to pose. So just for our satisfaction, not for himself. No, someone donated because I think someone from Europe thought it was very cold in Bangalore, so he brought a coat. This is a kind of a nice red-colored coat which was given to Swami. He just wore it and posed with it. And this was someone's car. Someone brought this car to be blessed. So he sat on the car, and I think I took a picture of that. Next, you get anything? Yeah, see, so he's having some fun, showing that Krishna used to tie a headband like this. Go ahead. Yeah, this was, I think, the 50th birthday when a jeep was transformed into a ratha. And I'm driving here. This is Srinivas and this is Radha Krishna. And Swami is seated at the back. This is actually the trip to Chennai, when we had the Sai Katha. This is in Chennai, Sundaram. So I want to conclude this session and by a bhajan, which is one of my favorite bhajans, and it's also Rupak Sharma's favorite bhajan and Swami's favorite bhajan too. So you can put it on.
Yeah.
Bhagavan, tum ho pran sakha Bhagavan, tum ho anathanath Bhagavan, tum ho anathanath Bhagavan, o Sai mere pran sakha Bhagavan, o Sai mere pran sakha Bhagavan, tum ho anathanath Bhagavan, o Sai mere pran sakha Bhagavan, o Sai mere pran sakha Bhagavan. मात पिता गुरु बंधु तुम हो, मात पिता गुरु बंधु तुम हो मेरे प्राण, ओ साई भक्त सखा भगवान, भगवान 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 भगवान, प्राण सखा भगवान, ओ साई मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान, ओ साई मेरे प्राण सखा भगवान, तुम हो अनाथनाथ भगवान.
Saranam Hariran.
Sai Ram Rupak ji, pranams.
Saranam Hariran.
I just want to share my thoughts with all my brothers and sisters who are here. All of us have experienced tip of the iceberg of Rupak ji. But I want to share something. When physically so close to Swami, today how we experience Rupak ji. When he was very, very close also, he used to be so loving to all of us. When he comes and sits in bhajan with us, It was that he was one amongst us. He never had that demarcation. Very rare, very, very rare. Nobody can be like that. And Rupakji, that's how we are very, very close. I can see the same humility, same love, same sweet words, and never, no other words except sweet words with any of us in the bhajan group. Rupakji used to have. What he has showed, like is Swami getting cured, paralytic stroke by Rupakji putting the water. Of course, Swami has planned that, but it could have been anybody else. Why Rupakji? And any good song, anything, Swami will ask Rupakji to sing. I remember 83, videographer, Telugu composition. We had composed and, and it was Rupakji sang that with swaras and everything. And anything to do with best thing, Swami always selected Rupakji. And all of us, Jagdish Rajan is here, Sonamji is there, and there. And all of us are blessed, Rupakji, to see you again today and hear from you very small particle of your experience. I think, Swami has showered. Imagine birthday cake. Oh my God. This thing, you are telling very casually. A room. Yeah, Swami built a room. Swami constructed another room. Bharti. These are all unimaginable for anybody. I think all of us, brothers and sisters, Swami lives in our heart. But Rupakji has lived in Swami's heart. I can put in only simple word. This is where, God takes you. That is the highest blessing. There is no need of sadhana, no need of philosophy, no need of anything. If God has taken you, then what else you require? You are one with Him. And this is the greatest experience. Rupakji, we can't. If I say thanks, it's a small word. I can only say our gratitude for coming and being with us. And please, please, whenever you are ready, we want to have you more and more. Every second of your, Sai Namras, we want to drink also. I hope that, you give us that chance of listening to you more and more. And as I told, I can only say you are my elder brother, always for Sonam, me, Jagdish, Kote, Hirat, for all of us. We can only say, we love you so much. Swami should keep you always like this, and Akka and your son with good health, peace, and prosperity. This is our prayer for you, our love for you. This is what we pray for you. Thanks a lot, Rupakji.
Thank you, Harir, and thank you so much. You're all. We have a heart connection. Now
Yes.
the whole family is a heart connection. So there's no mind, there's no arrogance, there is no feeling proud. We are proud that we are together. That's what we have to do.
Yes. And you are always like this.
Yes.
Yeah. And thank you, Venkat. Thank you, Jagdish. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
We're not done yet. I have a couple of requests. One, I do not know what I'm going to let Vivek say his request, because he has had a little bit of that from just being a normal photographer. You seem to have the entire archive of all that we want to see. I do not know the happiness that we will have in seeing those archives, because I get the little happiness of trying to re-click a few that Vivek has taken, and I'm trying to share it every day. But the way you're talking about that camera and all the footage, I do not know how to. I hope we can have one such session where you just play us a few videos and you just talk about it. That itself is a satsang. And I also want to tell everyone the little Googling that I found out, and he acknowledged that his wife's house, Swami has visited more number of times in Bangalore, and she's an amazing speaker too.
She's a great person.
That's what I could. That's what I could hear from the little snippet that is there on one of the American sites. So I just hope and pray that we can have a larger satsang. I'm sure you can just take Mudumalai and talk for an hour. I'm sure you can just take Kashmir and talk for an hour. It's not for us to. It's not for us to know about physically what Swami did, but also to see the simplicity of how he could go and with his love get all those devotees to on the right path. And you've seen it at a close quarter that many of us can only read about. So I hope.
Rupakji, this also gets documented, which nobody else, this treasure would go away with all of us if we don't share it. So whatever treasure you have with Swami, that treasure has to remain forever. And only if such sessions are there. And thanks to Hari and Venkat for organizing such sessions. And that's how even Rupak, I have asked Ravi Shankar to come and give his this thing. So he also has, he's now recovering from an eye surgery.
Oh.
So as soon as that's through, he said he will also be part of this satsang. He also would like to.
So we will definitely not trouble you with this.
Ravi Shankar have a lot of things to share in common also.
That'll be great.
So we hope we will do it not at an early morning for you. We'll do it at your night, and it will be our morning. We will adjust that. I understand. The morning. I have not even let you warm up your voice, and you're already, singing and reaching those octaves. So
not too early for me. I usually, this is my waking time is around 6:30 in the morning every day anyway. So yes, I'm fine.
So Sunday,
I wanted to actually just mention that tabla was Anirudh, my son, playing the tabla. You might have
in the Facebook posts.
Yeah. He's.
I think Abhinav also has spoken to me before. Abhinav Upadhyay is telling me.
Yeah. He keeps following him.
Fantastic accompanist. He is playing tabla so well.
Yeah.
Perfect tabla.
Did you hear recent tabla talk concert?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Recent one, tabla talk.
Recent one, 2 days back. It posted in the Facebook, right?
It was Tuesday, last Tuesday. I played.
Yeah.
Rupakji, I'm not in Facebook, so please send. I'm not in Facebook.
So how do you?
Then come to Facebook, Hari.
No.
He works only with managers. He's on Facebook, but
he is on app stores and all that, but he's not on Facebook.
Many have actually, even in some WhatsApp groups, they are asking how to watch his show because they're not in Facebook. So I need to check out how he can.
Please send.
Yeah. I'll try to get the link and download and send you.
Exactly, you can download it.
I'll download and send it to you.
Okay.
So looking forward to those sessions. I hope you continue with your archiving of those videos. You can't tell how excited we are. Even though Radio Sai publishes it, there are a few in Instagram who keeps posting these videos. All I crave for those videos where I can hear a little bit of the voice with that English coming up with that accent, and then a few Tamil here, a bit of Kannada there. I tell you, there's nothing like just getting those small 3-minute, 4-minute snippets. And when Brother Herox told before you were signing in that Swami gave you the first video camera to film, I was like thinking, my gosh.
You can imagine how the technology has improved. Now the whole handycam can do much more than those huge.
But what Swami gave is
I should carry that. My God, it was so
do
heavy.
you have all those negatives of all those strips on you, or is it?
I'm finding here and there. Actually, I have a lot in India. I need to go and dig out. I have a lot of. I used to take a lot of these people used to say that those slides.
Yeah. The 35 mm, the bigger one. Yeah.
The slides. The slides.
Yeah.
35 slides. Yeah. So I used to take a lot of those. I should have a lot of collection. I'll check.
Because
I have to devise a way of making them pictures.
I will share with you because I'm doing just that right here. So let me talk to you later offline after the satsang. I'm absolutely coming after that collection for sure. Sai Ram, wonderful as always. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Rupak ji. We'll finish off 21 Samastalokas. Looking forward to the next satsang. We'll announce who it is on Friday, as usual, in the same manner through WhatsApp. And looking forward to many more. Today has been absolutely blissful. So, Samastalokas to end, please. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki.
Jai.
Sai Ram. Have a wonderful day and good night to all of you. Sai Ram.
Have a good day.
Sai Ram, and happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers here in this group.
Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you so much. Same to you.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.